I'm not going to cry, I promise. Okay. I thought about this speech for weeks and how I could talk about all the friends I've made and the memories I'd love to tell about. But then sitting there last night, I realized what I really needed to talk about was one particular memory. I'm approximately 11 and I'm looking to join a more competitive team. Up to this point in my life, I've swam for the Hanover YMCA and a small club team by my house, the North Chelsea Lions. I attended a meet at the York YMCA while competing for the Hanover YMCA, and my interest was instantly piqued. So my mom somehow managed to set up a meeting with Michael, and we headed in. As we were getting there, all the juniors, which at the time consisted of Casey, Emily, Courtney, Maddie, Abby, Taylor Hoover, plus more, and they were all leaving. I thought absolutely nothing of them, and checked on to try and find Michael's office. Michael sat down with my mom and I remember two things about that day. One, he asked me what my favorite shirt was, and two, he asked me more questions about school, books, and music than he did swimming. During our meeting, one thing Michael said to me was, "You're going to feel like you got hit by a train for the first week or so. And Michael, I'd like you to know that 7 years later, that train is still plowing me over." Flash forward to the next week, and I had my first practice. First person I meet is Taylor Hoover, and if any of you know her, you will understand why. I was utterly terrified and overwhelmed for the first 20 seconds of meeting her. Then came Abby Kling, and she was the calm to the storm. But then, as we were walking out on deck, here comes Casey Overlander, galloping towards me, talking in a crazy southern accent, and I was done, ready to climb in a hole and hide. But I swear, something good did come out of that day. I realized who it was I needed to look up to, who I needed to chase, who I needed to use to motivate me. I met some of my very best friends that day, girls I would consider more sisters than friends, and that hasn't changed to this day. I'm not big on giving credit to people because I'm a teenager and we like to believe that we do everything on our own and help us for the weak. But without these girls and guys, I would not be who I am today. You truly shaped me into a person I'm proud to have become, and for that, I am forever grateful. However, you're not the only one I am grateful for. Just recently, I found out the week prior to my meeting with Michael, I was denied the opportunity to swim for another highly successful team. My mom had contacted them, and out of curiosity, and they had told her that they had enough girls my age, and maybe if my times were a little bit faster, I would have had a chance. And so, thank you, Michael, because you were willing to give me a chance, even when my strokes were awful, times were terrible, and I could barely do a 25 flat. I don't really know if you knew what you were getting yourself into that day. You let me join the team, but I think we can both agree that it was a pretty good decision. The combination of parents, and grandparents' endless efforts to get me to practice, meets, etc., teammates who pushed me past my limits and gave me a reason to smile when sometimes there wasn't a reason, and coaches who showed me that greatness trumps mediocrity any day has provided me with a future I am beyond excited to begin. You all helped me create a family away from home, but families are meant to grow, and with that being said, I bid my adieu to the York YMCA and say hello to my Tennessee family.